Unconscionable as adjective. Not guided by conscience. Morally wrong. Shockingly unfair or unjust. The company's decision to lay off workers during a pandemic was unconscionable. It is unconscionable that people in the modern world still die of starvation. The landlord's unconscionable rent increase left many tenants unable to afford their homes. His unconscionable behavior towards his employees resulted in a lawsuit. The defendant's unconscionable crime warranted a life sentence. Blatant as adjective. Obvious and intentional, not subtle or concealed. Showing or characterized by a lack of restraint or subtlety. The politician's blatant lies were exposed by the media. The company's blatant disregard for safety regulations led to a major accident. The athlete's blatant cheating during the game was caught on camera. The actor's blatant disrespect towards the director caused tension on the set. The student's blatant plagiarism in his paper resulted in a failing grade. Apathy is noun, absence or suppression of passion, emotion, or excitement. Lack of interest or emotion, indifference. The apathy of the citizens towards social issues is a cause for concern. The student's apathy towards learning affected his academic performance. The company's apathy towards its employees resulted in a high turnover rate. The government's apathy towards the needs of the homeless population led to an increase in the number of people living on the streets. The general apathy towards climate change is hindering efforts to combat it. Tout as verb. To praise or publicize something in a persistent or excessive way. To promote or advertise something or someone aggressively. The company touted its new product in a TV commercial. The restaurant was touted as having the best pizza in town. The politician touted his accomplishments during the campaign. The book was touted as the next bestseller. The company touted the benefits of its new health plan. Apposite as adjective. Being highly relevant or appropriate to the matter at hand. Suitable or appropriate in the circumstances or context. The speaker made an apposite reference to the current political situation. The teacher's apposite example helped the students understand the concept easily. The company's decision to invest in renewable energy was apposite given the current environmental concerns. The journalist's apposite choice of words highlighted the gravity of the situation. The team's apposite strategy helped them win the game. Telling as adjective. Having a strong or significant effect. Impactful. Revealing or indicating something important or significant. The evidence was telling of the suspect's guilt. Her expression was telling of her disappointment with the outcome. The movie's ending was particularly telling of the main character's personality. The omission of certain information in the report was telling of a cover-up. The contrast between the two paintings was telling of the artist's different styles. Broadside is noun. A type of printed advertisement or announcement, typically one that is large and posted in a public place. The side of a ship above the waterline, particularly the side facing forward. The ship was hit by a powerful broadside from the enemy fleet, causing significant damage. The newspaper published a scathing broadside against the politician, accusing them of corruption and dishonesty. The driver was caught in a broadside collision with another car, totaling both vehicles. The author's latest book received a broadside of negative reviews, despite their previous successes. The historic fort had a collection of broadsides on display, showcasing the propaganda and news of the time. Expunge as verb. To erase or eliminate something completely. To strike out or remove a record or entry, often used in legal or official contexts. The lawyer tried to expunge the evidence from the trial. The editor decided to expunge the offensive comments from the article. The accountant had to expunge the erroneous data from the report. The artist decided to expunge the unsatisfactory parts of the painting. The company had to expunge the outdated products from its inventory. Constituent as adjective. A person who is part of a larger group, organization, or community and has a role in making decisions or shaping policies. The senator's primary concern is serving the needs of his constituent population. The constituent parts of the machine must be assembled correctly in order for it to function properly. This medication contains several constituent ingredients that work together to relieve pain. The company's board of directors is made up of several constituent members from different departments. The country's economic growth relies heavily on its constituent industries, such as manufacturing and technology.
Eschew as verb, to abstain from using or engaging in, to avoid or shun deliberately and often habitually. Many investors choose to eschew high-risk stocks in favor of more stable investments. She has made a conscious effort to eschew negative influences in her life. The author's writing style eschews flowery language in favor of concise and direct prose. In his old age, he had learned to eschew unhealthy foods and stick to a balanced diet. The company decided to eschew traditional advertising methods and focus on social media marketing instead. Mawkish as adjective, often to the point of being cloying or sickly, something that is sentimental in an exaggerated or false way. The greeting card's mawkish message of love and devotion made the recipient cringe with embarrassment. The author's attempt to create a heartwarming ending to the story resulted in a mawkish and predictable conclusion. The singer's mawkish rendition of the national anthem drew ridicule and criticism from the crowd. The art exhibit's mawkish paintings of kittens and puppies failed to impress the art critics. The movie was criticized for its mawkish sentimentality, which many viewers found overly manipulative and insincere.
Precedent as noun. A previous event, action, or decision that serves as an example or a basis for future similar events, actions, or decisions. An established legal principle or a judicial decision that serves as a guide or a reference in subsequent legal cases with similar facts or issues. The court's decision set a precedent for future cases involving similar circumstances. The new policy went against precedent and caused controversy among stakeholders. The manager's actions set a bad precedent for employees to follow. The president's use of executive orders challenged the precedent of legislative authority. The coach's decision to bench the star player was without precedent in the team's history. Credence as noun. Belief or trust in the truth or reliability of something. The quality of deserving belief or acceptance. The statement was given credence by the fact that it was backed up by multiple credible sources. The new theory gained credence among scientists after being tested and proven through experimentation. The lawyer argued that the defendant's testimony should be given no credence due to his history of lying. The success of the startup company gave credence to the idea that innovative ideas can lead to success. The popularity of the book series lent credence to the notion that young adult literature has a large and loyal following. Denouement, the outcome or resolution of a complicated situation or narrative. The unraveling or clarification of the plot of a story or play. The denouement of the play revealed the truth about the main character's past. The detective story's denouement was a surprising twist that nobody had anticipated. The denouement of the film left many viewers feeling unsatisfied with the ending. The novel's denouement tied up all the loose ends and resolved the main conflict. The play's denouement brought closure to the story and left the audience with a sense of catharsis. Solicitude is noun, a feeling of worry or concern for the well-being or safety of someone or something. The state of being attentive or caring for someone or something, especially in a helpful or supportive manner. Her mother's solicitude was evident in the way she packed her favorite snacks for the trip. The doctor's solicitude for his patients was reflected in his attentive bedside manner. The teacher showed solicitude for her students' well-being by checking in on them regularly. The owner's solicitude for his employees' safety was evident in the strict adherence to safety protocols. The coach's solicitude for her team's success was reflected in the extra time she spent on practice drills. Dictatorial as adjective. Characteristic of a dictator or dictatorship, characterized by complete authority and control, exercising complete power and control in a harsh and authoritarian manner. The CEO was known for his dictatorial management style, making all decisions without consulting his team. The coach's dictatorial approach to training made the athletes fear and resent him. The teacher's dictatorial behavior in the classroom made students feel uncomfortable and intimidated. The country was ruled under a dictatorial regime where human rights were suppressed and freedoms restricted. The director's dictatorial attitude on set caused tension and conflict among the cast and crew. Surly as adjective. Bad-tempered and unfriendly, sullen and hostile, ill-natured and grumpy, morose and unfriendly. He gave me a surly look when I asked him for help. The surly waiter made our dining experience unpleasant. His surly attitude towards his coworkers made him unpopular. She replied in a surly tone, indicating she was annoyed. He left in a surly mood after the meeting. Redress is noun, a process or mechanism for obtaining compensation or making reparations for a wrong or injustice. An action taken to correct or rectify a wrong or injustice. The union demanded redress for the workers who had been unfairly laid off. The victims of the crime sought redress in the courts, hoping to get justice. The government offered redress to the families of the victims of the disaster, providing financial compensation. The company offered redress to the customers who had received defective products, replacing them free of charge. The charity provided redress to the homeless, offering food, shelter, and medical care. Muted as verb. Past participle form of the verb mute, which means to reduce the volume or intensity of sound or to silence or soften something. He muted the television to avoid disturbing the others in the room. The musician muted the volume of the instrument during the rehearsal. She quickly muted her microphone to avoid background noise during the call. He needed to mute his phone to prevent interruptions during the presentation. The speaker decided to mute the audience's microphones to minimize interruptions. Castigate as verb. It can also mean to punish or discipline as a form of correction, criticize or reprimand severely. The teacher castigated the students for not completing their homework on time. The boss castigated the employees for their poor performance, threatening to fire them. The coach castigated the team for their lackluster effort during the game. The critic castigated the film for its poor plot and acting. The parent castigated the child for breaking the vase, scolding them harshly. Ready to boost your English or ace the GRE? Meet the GRE Vocabulary app, a fun and effective way to master language. Learn advanced words with examples and audio. Master idioms, proverbs, and phrasal verbs. Enjoy quizzes, flashcards, and pronunciation tests. Customize your practice by difficulty or focus. Translate into 100+ languages with ease. Did you learn new words? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. Download now and start your journey to vocabulary mastery.